Another reason why I chose to do my YouTube channel is because I love black women. But when I see black women primarily promoting interracial relationships with other races of men, it discourages me because these be the same type of black females who cry about injustice, the same black females who cry when their black son gets murdered by the police, but yet you married the same race of man who murdered your son. And don't get it twisted, this also goes for black males who marry white women who have a known history of calling rape on black men and getting us lynched. So when I see this promotion of interracial relationships, it pisses me off. You can't sit up here and talk about injustice, police brutality, redlining, and then turn around and marry the very same race of people who has been doing this to us for 400 plus years just here in America, or as I like to call it, the unentitled states of America. You do understand that Jim Crow Joe is about to bring back the crack epidemic of the 1980s during the 1990s. So, what is those who voted for Jim Crow Joe going to do about that? Because he's upset that the fact that his son was found out to be a crackhead, and now he's going to take it out on black people. So I ask you, black people who voted Democrat, who put him in office. I'm not even mad at Jim Crow Joe. I don't have no love for white folks anyway. That's why it pisses me off when I see black women with white males. And it pisses me off when I see black males with white females. You're going to marry into a race of people who's destroying your people, our people, African people, globally. But you want to cry about discrimination. But you have black females and black males marrying these people. So that says a lot about our mentality collectively. To generalize that would be absolutely wrong because not all of us look at white people as friends. We look at them as the enemy for which they naturally are. So as black people, what are we going to do to prepare for this second coming of the crack epidemic? Are we going to stand around with our thumb up our asses? Are we going to form militias to protect our women? Because as of lately, there's a lot of weak black men in this generation. A lot of effeminized black men of this generation. It's no wonder why you see so many black females going to other races of men. But those other races of men do not respect the black woman because the black man doesn't respect the black woman. And honestly, I hate talking about my own brothers and sisters like this, but we need to start checking each other, man. We are the only race of people who do not give a damn about ourselves, but we care about everybody else. We the only race of people who let other races define who we are, instead of us doing it ourselves. And yes, this is a rant. This is unscripted, unfiltered, raw to the bone. Now, I don't claim to know everything, but I do know what I see. Like I went to the gas station earlier. I don't think it was 20 minutes ago, and I seen a homosexual black male, a faggot. You know how disgusting that is to see a fellow black man that's a faggot? And we just accepting this? It's like the only way you could be a real man is to be a faggot. How sick in the mind you gotta be to accept homosexuality, especially black men? And I know there's not all of us that accept this, but there's a nice majority of us that do. Some who we are related to. Hell, I'm related to a faggot. Do I like it? No, I don't. I will not speak on anything that I haven't seen with my own eyes. See, this is the kind of shit they are promoting to these young black men of this generation. That's why you see so many weak-minded black males of this generation. Because you got the homosexual white male promoting this to them. And we just standing back, just letting it happen. What happened to black power? When are we going to exemplify black power? We talk black power, but we don't show black power. We show black cowardice for the most part. Now, if you don't fit in that description, I'm not talking to you. Because I know some real brothers on YouTube that I fuck with. And I mean real brothers. And real sisters. Not on here to get a check, but on here to wake our people up. You know, when I talk about the FBA and the ADOS, they ain't nothing but a group of fuck boys and fuck girls, okay? They always talk about black this and black that, or in most instances they're not black, but they use the N-word consistently. They talk about, oh, we a political group, cut the check and all that stupid shit. When those black people donated Tariq Nasheed $1 million to a museum that's never going to be built, that shows that we have the ability to take care of ourselves as black people. We don't need no help of this system whatsoever. We never needed help of this system. Hell, we helping the system more than the system has ever helped us. When is black people collectively going to realize that without us, this system will crumble? It needs to keep us in fear. It's need to keep us begging them. We don't need these motherfucking devils. We never needed them. Shit, they couldn't even do the work to build their own country. That's why they went to Africa and brought us over here. Against our will. And yes, we had some brothers and sisters on the continent that sold us out. There's no denying that. But you had a vast majority that fought for us to stay home. And many died from that. That's why I understand why the FBA be going so hard on our brothers and sisters who immigrate here. But they don't go hard on those white immigrants that come here. They don't go hard on those Asian immigrants that come here. They don't go hard on the Mexican immigrants that come here. And those people I mentioned that come over here who are immigrants, they hate black people. What Nigerians you know that hate black people? I don't know any, and I talk to my brothers and sisters in Nigeria on a daily basis. You'd be astounded at what they are doing in Nigeria, what our people doing in Nigeria. Many of them are business owners. But you got the FBA fuckboys on here crying about black immigrants coming on here taking jobs. But you have not built no infrastructure, no economic plan, no real leadership, no real logic. But you want to cry about black people that's coming over here. Why are you not crying about the black people who's in Congress that's not doing anything? Why are you not confronting racism and white supremacy that you screaming at you against? But at the same time, you begging racism and white supremacy to protect you from Nigerian immigrants who happen to be our brothers and sisters. How is it that you supposed to be Indians but you waving the American flag? I will not keep my foot off your neck, FBA fuckboys. I will not. It's like what my good brother Nollywood said. Either you get down or you're going to lay down. Flat out. This time for all this separation is over. Jim Crow Joe is about to bring in a whole new era of the crack epidemic. And we're not even prepared for that yet. We steady crying and going at each other's throats. Give it about 10 or 20 years from now, you're going to see a whole new generation of crack babies. And you know what? We're not going to have nobody to blame but ourselves. Because our people voted Jim Crow Joe in. The same Jim Crow Joe who wrote the crime bill, who locked a lot of our brothers up, who are still in prison today. I also learned that the prisons in Mississippi are letting black men out. So put two and two together with the new Jim Crow era and the emptying of the prisons. They're going to have to fill those prisons up because they're broke and they're losing money. And let's not forget about the so-called war that's about to happen in Ukraine between the United States and Russia. They need money to fund that war. So who you think they're finna come get the money from? Who they finna put the drugs to? Given the economic state that most of us are in right now. Some of us don't have any jobs. We're going to see the crack. We're going to want to sell it. We're going to want to flash the gold and jewelry, flash the clothes that we have at the expense of our people literally dying off that habit of crack cocaine. Of course, there's going to be some white folks that's going to be in the mix of that too, but they're going to help the white folks. Black people, we just going to get locked up. In some cases, we're going to get shot dead. Just like how they shot this 17-year-old brother, or was it 22 years old, in Minnesota. 2 to the chest and 1 in the wrist. And the St. Paul police in Minnesota pretty much washed their hands of it. I put this picture up here for a reason. Because these white folks are some slick bastards. Like I stated earlier, this is a rant video. Correct me if I'm wrong, if I missed something. I'm always up for learning. And I'm not above that. I'm not above learning. So shout out to all my real brothers and sisters who's about that life, who's ready to make changes. But the most important change starts within yourself. I appreciate you taking your time to look at this video. As again, I don't expect many views on it, which is fine. I'm doing this because I love my brothers and sisters here in America, here and on the in Africa, in the Caribbean. Anywhere there's black people, that's who I love. But make no mistake, there's some I don't call brothers and sisters because they betrayed us. And that is where you get your interracial relationships. So those black people who are in interracial relationships, having all these mixed children, telling them they're black, you lie to them. And you hate yourself. The only way to create a black family is with a black man and a black woman made together to create a black child. You cannot create a black child mating with a non-black person. And I'm going to end it right here. You can like, comment, and subscribe to the video. What are your thoughts? We need a militia. We need more brothers out here training. We don't need no effeminized, weak-minded black men who want to put down a black woman. We don't need no weak-minded black women who always want to put down the black man. We don't need no black people overall who are in interracial relationships speaking on black issues. Because those very same black people who are in interracial relationships call themselves Pan-Africanists. Take this for real. Because these white folks, as well as other races, it's not playing. So why are we? Let's have some pride and racial dignity as black people.